Why your morning toast is destroying your sleep, the 2026 bread warning. Stop eating your favorite bread until you understand what May 2026 testing just revealed. This is not another conversation about gluten or carbohydrates. It is about a hidden toxin that is systematically blocking your brain from cleaning itself while you sleep, and the consequences are showing up as fatigue, accelerated aging, and cognitive decline that no amount of extra sleep can reverse. May 2026 testing of major national bread brands found high levels of glyphosate, the active ingredient in the world's most widely used herbicide, in products that millions of Americans eat every single morning. Glyphosate contamination in the food supply is not a new story. But what the 2026 research is adding to that conversation is a specific and deeply concerning neurological mechanism that changes the stakes entirely. Glyphosate disrupts the glia cells in your brain. Glia cells, sometimes called the brain's janitor cells, are a class of non-neuronal cells whose primary function is maintenance and cleanup of the brain's cellular environment. During deep sleep, your glia cells activate a process called the glymphatic system, essentially a fluid-based cleaning mechanism that flushes oxidized lipids, metabolic waste, and toxic byproducts that accumulate in brain tissue throughout the day. This nightly cleanup is not optional. It is the biological process responsible for cognitive clarity, emotional regulation, and the prevention of the protein accumulation associated with accelerated neurological aging. When glyphosate disrupts glia cell function, it does not just slow the cleanup process. It blocks it. The toxic metabolic waste that should be flushed during your sleep cycle stays in your brain tissue. Night after night, the accumulation builds. You spend 8 hours in bed and wake up feeling like you slept for 4. Your brain is not refreshed, it is still carrying the waste load from the previous day on top of everything that accumulated overnight. And over months and years, that accumulated burden manifests as premature brain aging, persistent brain fog, reduced cognitive performance, and the kind of unexplained fatigue that no lifestyle intervention seems to touch. The 2026 research connection to the younger you trend is direct and alarming. One of the primary drivers of accelerated facial and neurological aging identified this year is chronic toxic burden in brain tissue, specifically the oxidized lipid accumulation that results from impaired glymphatic function. People who look and feel older than their age are increasingly being found to have measurable markers of glymphatic impairment. And the dietary source most consistently associated with that impairment is glyphosate-contaminated grain products consumed daily. The current frontline intervention the longevity community is recommending is autophagy, specifically the cellular self-cleaning process triggered by extended fasting. Fasting activates both autophagy at the cellular level and supports glymphatic function during subsequent sleep. But fasting is difficult to sustain consistently, and the majority of people who start intermittent fasting protocols abandon them within weeks. This is where mitophagy, the specific form of autophagy that targets damaged mitochondria, becomes the practical alternative. PQQ is one of the few compounds demonstrated to signal mitophagy without requiring caloric restriction. It activates the cellular cleanup mechanism through a different biological pathway, triggering your mitochondria to identify and clear their own damaged components without the metabolic stress of fasting. When your mitochondrial cleanup is active, your cellular energy production becomes cleaner and your glia cells have the ATP they need to power the glymphatic cleanup process during sleep. CoQ10 completes the equation by fueling the mitochondria that have survived the mitophagy cleanup, ensuring the cellular energy supply that your glia janitor cells depend on is consistent and sufficient through the entire sleep cycle. Clean mitochondria running at full capacity mean glia cells running at full capacity. And glia cells running at full capacity mean a brain that wakes up genuinely refreshed rather than carrying yesterday's toxic load into a new day. Mitolyn combines PQQ and CoQ10 in a formula built around this cellular cleanup principle. It is the clean slate protocol that does not require you to skip breakfast or endure a 12-hour fast. It signals the cleanup from the inside, giving your brain's janitor cells the tools and the energy to do their job the way they were designed to. I want to be fully transparent with you. The link in my description is an affiliate link. I might earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. I only share what I genuinely think is helpful. Do not let your bread age your brain. Check the link in my description for the 2026 Mitolyn Younger You protocol. This video is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your diet or lifestyle.